What's up, y'all? I'm back with another video. Man, I seen this on the internet. Tory Lanez allegedly being stabbed 14 times and in other places. We'll talk about that. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, man, I got to make a video about this. Of course, you know, I did research, read some things, and I also pulled up information on the new evidence that Tory Lanez's team has on who really shot Meg. But we already knew that it was holes in that case that needed to be filled. I had made a video a couple of years, I think it was year 2020 when the shooting occurred, if I'm not mistaken. And I made a video about the Meg and Tory and Kelsey situation. For my subscribers that's been subscribed to me for a very long time, y'all ran across that video already. For my new subscribers that I don't think y'all seen that video because it's been a couple of years now, it's still on my listing. If you would like, you can go back to that video first, listen to that video on the case of Tory Lanez and Meg and Kelsey, and then come back to this video. I was already saying for many years that something was not right. It wasn't enough information at that time to solve the case. There was so many holes in that Meg and Tory and Kelsey case with the shooting. It wasn't right. I knew it was more information that needed to be attached to that case. And I have the new evidence on that. And we're going to talk about that. But the first thing we're going to definitely talk about is the stabbing. I just couldn't believe that happened. In my opinion, he shouldn't even be in jail. He didn't shoot Meg. I'm going to say allegedly. Tory didn't shoot Meg allegedly. People that really understand what went on from the time that this case happened to all the way to now, even though it was breaks in between of us not hearing anything, we know who shot Meg. So I'm glad I'm able to post this video because we are going to talk about it. Tory Lanez was hospitalized on Monday after being stabbed in a California prison. He was serving a 10-year sentence in the shooting of hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion. Tory was allegedly attacked by another inmate at a housing unit at the California Correctional Institution around 7:20 a.m. Tory allegedly was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both his lungs had collapsed, but his condition is improving. The identified suspect attacker is Santino Casillo, if I'm saying that name right. He has been placed in restricted housing pending an investigation, CDCR says, which is California Department of Corrections Rehabilitation. That's the abbreviation of it. So, yeah, that's crazy news that's on the internet right now. It's wild. I mean, it's definitely obvious to realize all those stabbings to the body, he was trying to kill him. You know, they wanted him dead. Or he wanted him dead. All those stabbings, they was expecting for Tory to die. But allegedly he is improving, which is good. That's a blessing. Praise God. Because with those type of injuries, you are supposed to be dead. All that blood being lost from different parts of your body. 14 times? That was a overkill, isn't it? That's what it sounds like. And, you know, Tory is still recovering. That's a blessing. So, you know, for the Tory Lanez fans, I'm a Tory Lanez fan as well as far as with his music. You know, I hope he get well. And, get out of prison and start over with his life and reevaluate himself, and let this be a lesson learned once everything gets all out, all the truth come out to the Meg Thee Stallion, Kelsey. That includes with recovering from the stabbing, everything. Just start all over from all of that, you know. So it's a blessing that he has recovered from the stabbing, and once he gets well, now he needs to stay on. Now he needs to stay focused on, how I'm gonna get out of prison, how I'm gonna get out of this 10-year sentence, how am I gonna prove, to these people, or the proof that I have, me and my team, like he says, to get out of here and just start over with my life. So yeah, it is a blessing to have him to recover, and he is doing well, allegedly. Now, the new update on new evidence in the Meg, Tory, and Kelsey shooting, now it's 2025. This case was in 2020, and it should have easily been solved. But as you can see, all this time has passed, and now little bits of truth want to come out after all these years. It's 2025 now, so now the truth of a little bit of what happened wants to come out now this year. That's crazy to me. But I knew something wasn't right. I had always said it. It was more to the story than what they were presenting. I felt like whoever had control of keeping things quiet made it look very confused to people like myself, who kind of could look past that and really see what was going on. And the case just wasn't right. It was many holes, like I said, that needed to be filled. So now new evidence claims Kelsey Harris's driver / bodyguard, and I believe allegedly now it's her ex-bodyguard now, heard her admitting to shooting Meg. So it was already known in 2020 what really happened. People already knew behind the scenes who really shot Meg, but allegedly Meg made everyone or people that would believe it, that Tory shot her instead. Allegedly, it was thrown out there that Tory was sleeping with Kelsey and Meg. Allegedly, Tory was messing with Kelsey first. Kelsey ended up catching COVID. 2020 was COVID year. All that mess was going on. It was crazy in 2020. That was just a crazy COVID year. Kelsey allegedly ended up catching COVID, so she had to keep her distance. That left Tory and Meg to spend more time with each other. And as they did, okay, once they found out that night at the LA party, pool party, that's when it was said, hey, yeah, I'm sleeping with both of y'all. And then it ends up a big argument. Everybody already knew that. But I believe because Meg couldn't take all that controversy with that, and Kelsey couldn't either, they were both upset that Tory was sleeping with both of them. And, it caused a very big toxic argument / shooting. But as you can see, I knew something wasn't right. So now, I know people probably thinking, well, what now? How they gonna fix this? How they gonna prove this? Allegedly, Tory Lanez's team and himself has proof that Kelsey shot Meg. But see, this is the thing. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people, including myself, are thinking this. Why wasn't this been said in 2020 to save Tory from going to jail for 10 years, doing a 10-year sentence? Prevent him from doing that. If he knew, his team knew, and other people behind the scenes knew that he didn't shoot Meg. Other people covering for other people caused Tory to get a 10-year sentence. Now they want to come out with the truth years later, proving Kelsey did it. So it's obvious back in 2020, a lot of people were just trying to cover and save people's butts. Now time went on, okay, Tory realizing probably, hey, I don't want to do this. This is, I don't want this to be my life. This is not it. Well, guess what? When you choose to cover for people to make things look good for a little while, look what happens. Things backfire. And that's kind of what I see. Now the truth want to come out. Now there's proof Kelsey did it. What kind of time is Kelsey going to have? What kind of charge is she going to have if it's proven that Kelsey did it? Allegedly. You know, I wanted to make this video because y'all know how I always been feeling, or how I always felt about the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez and Kelsey situation. It was just too many holes that just were not filled, but they still were trying to present to the internet that this is what it is. And that's not what it was, as you can see. So, you know, once the recovering from the stabbing and Tory recovered from that, I'm pretty sure now they're going to be working on this new case. We're putting this new evidence out. And that's going to be another big trial. If they do have another trial or another court date for that, along with already the Diddy stuff out, whoo, them courtrooms gonna be jumping, you know. But, you know, if they got evidence on Kelsey doing it, they just need to go ahead and put the evidence out. They should have been did it. Why wait? You know, it's more to the story than what we know. You know, if you know you didn't do it, why weren't you fighting for all of this back in 2020 to keep yourself from not going to jail? Who want to do a 10-year sentence? You know, if I know I didn't do it, yeah, I'm going to work hard to try to prevent myself for not going. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to do a 10-year sentence and then wait 4 or 5 years to say, well, hey, I got evidence. I got proof now. No, I'm not going to do that. But, you know, to each his own. But for the Tory Lane fans, we all knew something wasn't right. We knew from the beginning. But then you had your diehard fans, your diehard Meg Thee Stallion fans that, you know, just knew Tory shot Meg, and, you know, they was just going off and, you know, just supporting Meg, and that's cool. But when the truth come out, I want to know how a lot of people felt in 2020, and now the truth coming out in 2025. I want to know their reactions now as 4 or 5 years then went by. Now that a little bits of truth have came out, you know. Allegedly, Kelsey Harris, driver and ex-bodyguard, heard her admit she shot Meg. So the bodyguard knew, the driver knew. Why they ain't say nothing? Maybe at the time they was cool with her and they didn't want to say nothing. Now they ain't cool with her, allegedly. Or they must not be talking to her for them to go ahead and throw that information out there like that. To not cover for her. Letting the truth out. But in 2020, everybody had their mouth shut. You know, I can tell the difference because I remember the time frame of what was going on in 2020. It was so many clues, but it was still things left out. Now everything want to come out. So yeah, it's crazy. But I'm glad I made this video. I wanted to make this video. You know, if you can relate, like this video, share the video. You know, y'all know how that case was back in 2020. It was crazy. It really was. Go back and check out the old video I made if y'all have time with the Tory Lanez and Meg. I got a nice amount of views off that. I think that was about, what, 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I still got that video on the list, and check that video out and then come back and check this video out. But y'all, I gotta go. I'll definitely be back with another video. Hope y'all enjoying the day. Hope y'all enjoying the week. Make sure y'all pray, and I'll be back. Peace.